Maiden, bye, bye, bye! I'm sorry, I can't help freaking... Listen. Hey. Excuse me. Hi. Welcome to another episode of Daddy's Dungeon Beastmasters of Paternia. I am Goon Daddy, where's the thing? Okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. I am your Dungeon Master, your Daddy Master, your Dungeon Daddy, your GM, your MC. It's I, Goon Daddy, in the form of this very green old man. I want to thank you guys for, thank you again for tuning in. I can't do anything else today without bringing in my wonderful cast.
Oh god, I'm hungry, but I have food in front of me.
I keep forgetting that one exists. Hi,
Hello,
Goon.
cast.
Ah, hello!
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
You just caught us talking about food.
Food.
Yeah. Pretty
Food.
much the good half of the conversation, but yes.
Speaking of food, if you want to send us money to buy food, you can come to the Pixie Mart. Using the Pixie Mart, you can send a small amount of money to all of us by sending one of your favorite characters in game a magical item of varying rarities from common to artifact, within reason. The money sent is evenly distributed amongst all of us. If you're only interested in supporting individuals, you could probably find them other places to do that. But specifically, if you want to support me, you can always sub. This is my account. But thank you guys so much for joining us. And I think it's time for character questions to learn about the characters in the game. So today's character question is coming right off the top of my head. Does your character believe in cryptids? I'm going to start. David 100% believes in cryptids, which is strange considering the fantasy world that we find ourselves in. Bigfoot exists, but no one believes he does, which is weird. Who else exists? Thanks for asking. Mothman exists. He's a recluse, and actually, Oracle Florine has tea with Mothman.
What about jackalopes?
Jackalopes, they live in the native forest of the fawns.
Chupacabra? I heckin' love them.
The chupacabra is like, so with the continent of Gordia, it's the tropical continent where Dandy Jack hails from. The chupacabra is actually a Batman-esque superhero.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
Take a mundane animal from our world and potentially have it be a cryptid. Like, for instance, RuneScape has unicorns that exist, but they don't have horses. That's a mythological creature in that world.
Okay. So Tanukis are magic. Tanukis are
cute.
They're cute. They exist in
Tanukis.
They live in the misty mountains of the homeland of Ken. They are magical in this world. This world
Somebody's giving off static.
This world
not anymore.
Doesn't, however, have normal raccoons. They have magical tanukis, but they don't have non-magical raccoons.
No trash pandas?
Tsuchinoko real.
No trash pandas.
No. But
Shit.
But magical.
Does anyone know what a Tsuchinoko is?
I don't know. What is that? Put it in the chat for us.
I'm not cultural.
It's a fat snake.
It's a fat
just
snake.
Say a fat
They're
snake
heckin' adorable.
It's what Dunsparce is based off of.
Oh, word. I think I've.
Here,
Oh,
let
wait,
me
I
try
think
to
I might
find,
have
like,
heard
a
of
cute
that.
picture of it.
I'm gonna say.
Tsuchinoko real.
I'm just gonna say nah. I don't think they will exist in this world. I mean, we have land sharks and we have quaddles, and we have tanukis and we have unicorns and dragons. I mean, the fact that my brain was
Howle
like,
totally believes that Tsuchinokos exist.
word.
There you go, cryptid.
That's a fat snake. That is a fat snake, chat. Look at that fat snake.
Oh, it is fat.
What cryptid
It's
does
not even
your
the biggest one.
what cryptid does your what cryptid does your character believe in? Skortch. Window Goblin.
If any.
I want to say Sujinoka because I love them so much. They're adorable.
So you're both
We,
like
we, our
both
twins can bond
Sujinoko
over
hunters.
Tsuchinoko.
You both
Yes.
like set out Sujinoko traps, and you just keep catching regular tanukis.
Like,
Yeah,
damn, I can find so many tanukis, but I just can't find a single fat snake.
One fat snake. Jeez.
Oh my god, those are all so cute.
Oh my God.
I love them.
I'm struggling to find a difference between a fat snake and an anaconda.
This one's fat, that one's an anaconda.
They're supposed to be incredibly lucky also.
Oh, word.
I see Skorch and Howle having a T-shirt with that last picture on it.
Yes. That's adorable.
It's
What?
their yearly hunt day, so they just put on their shirts and they get their little hats that got little snake tongues sticking out.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
There's, like,
What
a
you know?
blue
What those
one and a
hats?
red one.
Those hats are like they're like the Sherlock hats.
The deer hunter hats.
Yes. They don like little shoulder capes and magnifying glasses.
There's also a tradition of eating like food that looks like it's shaped like a Tsuchinoko. Here.
Ah!
Oh my god. Oh.
Alright. Okay. Moving
That
on.
just looks like
It's
fried
weird.
meat.
Blue.
It is, yeah.
What is a cryptid that Blue believes exists in
Well,
our fantasy
Blue-
world?
Blue believes that if it is real, there's probably some sort of documentation on it. So he doesn't necessarily believe in cryptids, but he does like the extraordinary creatures that exist.
Like super rare creatures.
Yeah.
Word.
The ones that have very little written on them.
Ah. What if
But
I
I
just
think
threw
of
like
one
a
off the top
what
of
if I just threw a random Pokemon into our world and called it a cryptid?
Yes.
Yes.
I could probably help with that. I'm obsessed with like making Pokemon into real creatures.
Dear God.
The flying squirrel Pikachu clone. That's a cryptid.
Ah, Emolga.
Emolga exists in our world and they are a cryptid. Very rare
no.
electric flying squirrel.
Yeah, you could probably send that in the chat. It's relevant.
What?
The snake woman.
I just thought you'd like it. It's fine.
Snack
You
woman.
could throw it in the chat.
Snack woman.
Don't need to.
Okay. Finally.
I'm just gonna like constantly be spamming shit if you guys let me. So like I should probably slow down.
Okay, finally,
Nick.
Ken. What is the cryptid that Ken believes in?
Okay, be gone!
Not necessarily a cryptid, but when Ken was a boy, his father, Master Coral, used to tell him of the turtle that holds up the world on its back.
I like that. I imagine a scene where
I love that.
Ken wasn't very didn't like succeed very well at some absurd training that he had to do, and so he was feeling down on his luck, and so you two are like having dinner, and he tells you the story of the turtle that holds up the world.
That is amazing.
That is adorable scene that we have thought of. I feel good. How do you guys feel?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Snack. Dirty girly snack.
I've had my first bit of caffeine since like giving it up maybe like a month ago,
Okay.
and I'm feeling pretty damn good about it.
It's been
Good
closer
job.
to
How
Enjoy
dare
it.
how dare you put Lady Snake in the chat?
Snack.
It's relevant.
Snack.
It is
Look
relevant.
at this.
Please,
Dirty girly snack.
please,
I didn't think it was relevant.
please keep the etchy to a minimum.
And she just has her tongue out. She's fully clothed.
Now, eat it. Sneak eat it. Dirty snack. She'll eat me. I know it. She's
We're off to an awesome start.
Yeah, I'm trying to start. I'm just waiting for a good bit of silence to put in some desert music to recap. Are we done?
I am not complaining. I am legitimately saying I think this is a good start.
All right. So, everyone else can take a little bit of a character mind break as the camera zooms into the sleeping head of Blu Moon. Blu Moon, you were put to sleep by Shay Darkmyth as to not upset the very real, very large, actual, full-blooded adult blue dragon in the previous episode, and you, Shay Darkmyth, and Black Death have all been like chilling in your room as you slumber and not cause an incident. And so, in your dreamscape, you are floating in a cloud of sand. It's a sand everywhere.
Okay. What do I see around me?
Sand.
Sand.
And sand. Oh, is that a scorpion? No, that's sand.
It's a lot of sand.
I'm just trying. So during this whole dream that you, while the others were traveling around the circumference of the dragon family territory, you have been in this very cloudy sandstorm dreamscape. And every so often, in the back of your mind, you think you might see a shine, a sparkle, like off in the distance. But whenever you try to focus in on it with your eyes, it becomes invisible. It just passes very quickly. As soon as you try to focus on what it might be, the shine dissipates and goes away.
Oh, where am I?
You feel strangely at peace. It's a similar feeling to when you woke up in the Winner's Circle and you found a connection to this biome.
Must be having another crazy dream. I'm gonna just keep trying to walk around.
Okay. Give me a wisdom check.
Six, starting off the session sexy.
With a 6, every minute and a half, you think you see that same shine in the distance, and every time you try to look at it with your eyes, you try to focus in on it with your eyes, it just goes away.
Okay, well, this is getting me nowhere. Let's try the alternative. And he's just gonna sit down and lay back down in the sand. He's just gonna think really hard about that light.
Okay. Give me another wisdom check.
I just can't quite think of it. It's 3.
You hear the thumping, the soft thumping of hooves.
Okay, I'm trying to think here. What is that sound?
Go on. You were saying something?
I was just gonna say I'm gonna probably end up standing up and looking for horses, or looking around for what the heck's making that sound. Go towards it if I can.
Yeah, you are able to discern a direction, but when you start moving in the direction that the sound is coming from, the regularity at which you start to see the shine, the sparkle, it gets more frequent. There used to be every minute and a half. It's every 15 seconds you think you see it, and you try to focus, and then it goes away. But then you keep traveling towards the sound, of galloping hooves.
Must be getting close.
Okay, one more time. Make a wisdom save. Make another wisdom check. You keep making wisdom saving throws, not checks. That's great.
Finally. Good job, everyone.
Good job. I'm not complaining. Yeah, so finally, as you get close enough, you not only you're not seeing with your eyes anymore. You finally have relaxed in this biome, and you're starting to see with your, I want to say soul. I want to say your body, not with the physical, but with the spiritual connection. And you see a tall silhouette and the piercing light of a sharp, conical object way up in the sky. If you didn't know any better, you would say that this is definitely a horse of some kind.
There it is. Hey, will you keep it down? I'm trying to focus. Wait, why is there a horse here? On. I'm gonna try to get closer.
There's a point when you get there's a point where you get as close as the streamscape is allowing you. Like, you can continue to walk forward.
Doesn't seem to get closer.
But it seems to be sliding back. It's not leaving any trails in the sand, or maybe it's the sand moving in an escalator fashion, pushing you away at equal force to you walking towards it.
Hey, horsey. Wait. Let me think.
Your mind starts to fill with music. And you feel you feel it from the beginning from the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes, rising through your extremities to your core and to your mind. It's the feeling of falling out of sleep and back into consciousness.
Oh no, I don't want to leave quite yet.
The horse turns around and starts to walk away.
Okay. Can I do an action before it
What action?
fully leaves?
What action?
I wanted to try casting Animal Friendship.
Go ahead. Is there any roll I have to make, or?
If the beast has an intelligence 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, it must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be charmed.
Yeah, what's the DC on that?
That would be my wisdom, which I think is an 11. Yes.
Okay.
12, sorry, 12.
12? Alright.
That's it right there.
You succeed.
Hey!
What exactly do you do for the charm?
For the charm is that I'm just gonna kind of hold out my hand towards its head, grasp around it, and kind of like pull it close to my heart. Hey.
It's like a 2-story horse.
Yep. Oh, I know, but it's at a distance away from me and getting further away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leave quite yet. Come back, friend.
And then you wake up. You're in your room inside of Awatu the Dragon Turtle. Black Death is asleep, leaning like against your closet door. Shay Darkmyth is nowhere to be found.
Was that a dream? Must have been.
Let's go to the cockpit where we find Malachite and Skortch looking out over this. Where is everyone? Well, you know what? Where is everyone? David is definitely in the mouth of Uatu the dragon turtle. Everyone else, the last action I do believe was you guys falling into Uatu the dragon turtle. Ken, I do believe you were still on the back of Longshen.
I was on the back of Longshen, yeah.
Yeah, and there is Lord Joltske, a line of ghost dragons, and Dio Acapio, and you guys are behind that line.
What's the feel I get from this? Are they about to fight? Are we about to see a real dragon battle?
You look into the eyes of the you know what? Give me a wisdom check or something like that.
Insight would be
that one. Do that.
25.
You look into the eyes of the ghost dragons, and in their expressions, you see nothing. You look into the eyes, the tear-filled eyes of Dio Acapio, and you see unimaginable pain.
Hey, Longshen, should we get out of here?
I'm not really I'm not one of those dragons who does therapy. I know some people they'll talk to dragons for therapeutic purposes. I'm not one of those.
No, I know. That's kind of why I'm suggesting that maybe we just let them work out their own stuff.
You know what? I'm getting kind of tired, so if you want, I can just drop you off on the turtle, and I can get out of here.
That'll work. Yeah. Have an app.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Thanks, man.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for the race.
Yeah. Dude, so much fun. He kind of lets you slide off of his tail into Uatu the dragon turtle before returning to the ring. As your DM, I would like to call attention to some changes I made to the text in the ring.
Ooh, okay.
I did switch it around, gave Longshen some new stuff to make it feel more like a powerful weapon item.
And you misspelled everything.
Of course I did. Look at me. So Skortch, where are you on Uatu?
Change that.
I'm definitely hanging out with Malachite.
Yeah, so you're in the cockpit with Malachite, and Howle, you are...
I figure on top, enjoying the breeze and looking on in horror as there's a line of ghost dragons and it's probably her fault.
Yeah. Okay, so in the cockpit with Malachite and Skortch, Malachite is poring over some scrolls and texts and staring deeply, intermittently and deeply at the screen with the magical sonar screen, which we used to look at the Bullet in the last episode. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check to read the runes on the magical sonar screen.
Okay.
That passes. So you see two magical beast signatures. The obvious two are they're both electric. They're both electric type dragons, I guess. But it's you see the draconic signal of Dio Acapio. It's copper dragon magic. It's a very clear, easy to read set of runes. And then there's also Lord Joltske's signature, which is very clear and easy to see. But spiraling out from Dio Acapio, the copper dragon leader of the Canch Defense Syndicate, are these very emotional, very highly charged runes that you trace where they go along the sand on the outside, and they circle around where the ghost dragons are. There are 4 ghost dragons in total, with Dio Acapio in the center of the 4 in the line. And so you can see the runes of emotion and like a necromantic sort of possession flow out of Dio Acapio and into these 4 ghostly dragons. And all of a sudden, something whizzes by your head and hits Malachite in his. And clattering to the floor is Shay Darkmyth's Flute of Dragonkind. Shay Darkmyth doesn't follow, but appears in the doorway to the cockpit, wondering what the heck is going on.
Hey, so is this your flute?
What? Wait, how'd you get that? And he reaches for his flute and pulls out his flute. And it's
Wait,
it's the very same flute. Hold on. And
It
he
just hit Malachite in the head.
Malachite takes both of the flutes in his hands and he holds them together, and you can see in the flute that hit Malachite in the head that time is moving slower around it than it is the flute that Shay just brought in. Okay, says Malachite. I've done this several times, where I've thrown something at my own head in I've thrown things to my past self so that I hit myself in the head, so I remember the exact point where I need to complete the time circle. Shay, if you don't mind, give me. I have the flute. I'm gonna throw this to myself in the past. We'll still have this flute, but this flute is going into the past to become this flute. Do I make myself clear? Clearly, I was trying to tell myself something with this flute. Anyway, and he throws it.
Yeah.
He throws the flute into the past. There's like a small rip in space-time as the flute sails through it. So clearly, I was trying to tell myself something with this flute. Shay, what are the limits of this flute? And Shay goes, well, it works really well on. It works really well, really easily on any mixed breed dragons, dragonborn, lesser dragons. It takes a. I've never successfully used it on a full-blooded dragon. I've never actually tried, but in theory, I guess it could work. We use them just to keep our dragons in line. Aha. So, what was I trying to tell myself with this?
There's some dragons about to duke it out. Give it a try.
Okay. And then Shay takes his flute back, and he slides down a ladder to the mouth of Awatu. And he starts to play out of the mouth of Awatu. And the sound magic travels like the few yards into the open sandy air before the elements whisk it away. And nothing happens.
So, how does that sonar amplification thingy work?
Well, I know the magical signatures of the beasts. I made them myself, so I know them. And so I was able to put that data into Awatu, and we are able to send out like a magical ping to see if we can't read that signal somewhere else. And I mean, that's basically how that works. We send out a ping. It looks for it's meant to bounce off of the specific signals of the elemental beasts, which is recognized by Awatu.
Could it be rigged to recognize a different kind of signal?
What do you mean?
Do you think the amplification would be compatible with the dragon flute?
We would have to like, he walks into the main room with the large turntable and the gramophone thing. I mean, do we have time to record a record?
I don't know, do we?
I don't think we have time to record a record.
Says the time wizard.
Yeah,
Touche!
wizard.
You know what I can? You know what I can do? I can stop. I can stop time for everyone except for myself, and I can throw things at my head from the future to the past. That's about it. I can't record a record in no time.
But if you stop time for everyone but yourself, that gives you time to do the record.
That. Too bad I don't know how to play the flute.
If they're about to duke it out and you freeze them, they're not going to do anything until it lets up.
I mean, I don't know how to play the flute.
Well, we can figure that out. You have... How much time is that?
I mean, it's like a max like 15 seconds my time. Yeah. So not even in a full time stop could I record a whole record.
Fuck.
Shay walks into the center room, and I mean, the problem I think that we have is that Acapio can't hear it. I mean, if there was a way for me to get closer.
Why don't we just like walk up to him? Like, I know he's scary, you know, but I don't know if he'd hurt us.
He's
pretty emotional right now. Aren't they known to lash out?
We have a lion drake.
Yeah.
Howl's not there, voice in my head.
Howle is here. They're on the dragon turtle somewhere. They could hop in at any time.
I thought he was on top of the dragon turtle.
There's the ladder. They could move about freely.
Yeah, I do, like, recognize that there's an issue, and that if we all put our brains together, that it's probably going to work out better, so I probably would head towards you guys at this point.
Right.
Also, fuck ladders, I have a lion drake.
Fuck ladders. I have a lion drake.
Also, that, like, tumble on the rope ladder, I don't think I like ladders much anymore.
Screw ladders. I have a lion drake. I like that. I like that. That's awesome. So yeah, Howle, what are you up to?
Yeah, just kind of, like, bother the lion drake to go down to where they are, and kind of ask what's up. Like, what's the plan? Do we have a plan yet?
Well, we think well, flute, dragon, flute not loud, no time, magic amplifier, close?
Okay, so I should bring Shay over there, right?
I'm flying on the back of that thing. I don't know.
We don't even have to get that close. I could try to use, like, the wind to carry the sound further away.
That's
I don't know how to play it, Shay. You're gonna have to help with this.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You can do this.
Okay.
Your boyfriend won't let anything happen to you.
Boyfriend? Fine. Just let's do it before I change my mind, okay?
Alright, hop on.
Okay. Yeah, Shay grabs your arm, and with the help of I forgot your dragon's name. It's I forgot your dragon's name. What the heck?
Started with an A.
Yeah, I know that much.
Artosh.
Artosh! With the help of Artosh, you both get flung onto Artosh's back. And you jump off the side of a Watu and start to glide on these very harrowing, spooky winds. I'm gonna ask Artosh to make a best 2 out of 3 athletic checks or strength. No, strength or dexterity checks, whatever one you think is best.
Okay, how do I...
Well, you would have to roll yourself with Artosh's stat block, which I do believe I gave you last time.
Yes. There it is.
No, that's not a stat block. That's a lore blurb. Might be.
Ah, shoot.
Sheesh, bruh.
Do you have a stat block on you?
I should. Hold on.
This one has a stat block. Oh, that's not. That's a dragon. Knee.
And then you just send it.
Yeah, it doesn't have a stat block on it.
Yes, it
No, it does. It does. It's not called a lion drake. It's called a dragon something, like a lion drake.
Oh, this one looks similar, but it's called like dragon with 2 N's and an E.
Yeah, that's a lion drake.
Oh, okay. So it's got a
Dragon is
dexterity of
also known as
+2.
lion drakes.
It's in the chat. I just replied to it for you.
Oh. I thought I had this saved. I'm gonna save it.
You should put it on your desktop so you won't forget where it is.
That's... Yes. I mean, well, I have all of my D&D stuff on my thing. Anyway, just, like, take the dexterity roll that I make and -1.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Best 2 out of 3.
Please. Love me.
Do it.
That's better.
That is better. One more.
That's a 16
Ooh.
and no.
Okay. Artosh glides through the wind, but these are turbulent winds, and you guys can't make
Could I,
it.
like, theoretically help with Gust?
Change the directions of the wind current.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna let you re-roll the last one then.
The
With
last.
Gust.
Okay.
That's not great, but it's better. It's not great, but it's better. So with that, you don't make it all the way, like, as close as you would like to. You make it to about to Dio Acapio's butt. Before Artosh makes an emergency landing on said rear end.
Oh.
Right now, Dio Acapio and Lord Joltske is doing a really good job of just keeping Dio Acapio talking. And so these two dragons, they're speaking in deep draconic, in really harsh draconic tones, which David and Blue are the only one who can both hear and understand. But you guys, I'm gonna have you and
I could change that. I
Huh?
have comprehend languages.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're swearing at each other. It doesn't matter.
Uh,
It's a heated argument about who killed whose parents. Spoiler alert: it was the Blues who killed the Coppers. Anyway, so you guys are on Dio Acapio's butt area, and so I'm going to have you guys make best 2 out of 3. Well, you're climbing up the back of a dragon in order to get close enough to put the whole big bad boy to sleep. So, let's say, where are you? skills. I'll let you roll either animal handling, athletics, stealth, or deception. You can choose of those skills.
And this is me rolling them, not the lion drake?
Yeah, just you. Artosh is too scared to move an inch on this much larger dragon's back.
Alright.
Cat recognizes cat, no?
I'll go with deception, I guess.
Okay. That's 2 out of 3 deception. 13. 20. 12.
And a 12.
With that, you guys, you know what? I put because of the excellent distraction that Joltske is doing. I lowered the DC to about 10, so you succeeded in all 3, and you guys make it to
Nice.
Dio Acapio's neck, right at the base of his neck, and so this is about where you need to be in order for the magic to like really get to Dio Acapio's ears, and he's still making a lot of noise, and he's actually shifting around a lot, and so you look over at Shay Darkmouth, and his nerves are they're shaking. His entire body is shaking. He's incredibly scared, just all over, and he's trying to grip the flute properly, and it's slipping around in his sweaty hands, and
I give his shoulder a good squeeze and just kind of like look at him like, you can do it.
Okay. Okay. Screw it. Let's make rolls. Let's make some rolls, people. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nope.
So, Shay Darkmouth begins to play the familiar melody of the Flute of Dragonkind, and the magic swirls around Dio Acapio's neck, snaking its way up to his skull and his ears, and for a moment, Dio Acapio's posture like softens a little bit, and the tune kind of nicks at his brain just a little bit, and there's a noticeable change in his face, and his draconic face and everything, and it feels like he might succumb, but only for a moment. But then he shakes it off, and he turns his head to the two of you on his shoulders, playing a flute meant to put you to sleep. What do you do?
I want to try to reason with them. I want to, like, try to calm him down.
Is this in attempt to distract him so that Shay can keep playing, or is it like an actual reasoning with a toddler type of situation? Well, not a toddler,
I suppose
just someone.
It's a bit of both.
It's more like a Karen.
I'm hoping we can.
More like a tantrum. It's a bit of both.
I'm really hoping that I can sort. Yeah. If the flute doesn't work, that's fine. I do want to be able to like calm him down and get him to sort of like release his anger in a healthier way.
The flute was working for a second. Shay just didn't really roll all that well. So I will let you choose between Deception, Arcana, Animal Handling, Persuasion, and Insight.
I would like to try to persuade him.
Okay, give me a Persuasion roll.
Oh my goodness.
What do you say to the teary-eyed, very angry Dio Acapio?
I know that you're hurting. I know that what they did to you wasn't fair or okay. But doing this now won't bring them back.
What do you...
Doing this now will only cause more retaliation.
What do you know, tiny thing? What do you know nothing. You know what it's like to lose a family. You've got 1, 2, whoever that one is, that other one, and that freaking turtle, whoever that guy is. You got all of them. What do you know?
I know that I have family members, but I have lost family before. And I know that trying to retaliate against people for doing that will only cause more pain, whether for you or them. But retaliation is inevitable, and it's not going to help.
Well, what do I do with it then? What do I do with this thing in my chest? I said, it's like a claw. It's like a claw.
You have to nurture
It's just in there.
the wound. More violence won't nurture the wound, it will tear it open further. If you want justice, there are peaceful ways of obtaining it.
Jeez. Little mouse, you tricked me. And finally, this entire conversation, Shay has still been shakily, like, putting out notes very slowly, very, very softly, but then the magic is still there, and it's still traveling up the neck of the dragon. And this conversation, these thoughts, these heavy, adult thoughts entering Dio Capio's mind, it all starts to lull him. And he starts to lower his neck, and his chest touches the sand, and the specters of his past, the specters of his fallen family, they start to fall away. Howle and Skortch, both of you, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oop.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
Give me
Oh no.
1 second as I look at a thing that I made mark of earlier. That is not the thing. Where is the thing?
I just
Come
kind
here,
of got a
thing.
nat 20 there.
Oh, sick!
I got a 7.
Oh, you're fucked.
Where is...
Put them together and you have a good score.
Yeah.
Where are you guys in my
That is a pretty
thing?
good score.
Okay, there's that, and there's that, and there's that, and there's that. Where are you guys? Where are
God, not coming prepared.
No, it's just my Bible is all out of order. It's not that I'm not prepared. I just don't remember how many stacks you two have. It's like
Organization is heckin' hard.
Hecka hard. Okay.
I think I have 3. Or 4.
Okay. So you got a natural 20, which is great. You got a 7. Let me see here.
Now we should be even.
No.
No, because I
That's
had
not how this
the-
works. We don't have like a shared brain, mate.
No.
No.
Luckily,
Like,
okay.
even- I
For
got that extra one slapping Daddy Darkmouth. So now we should be even.
that was a different thing. This is something different than the thing that you were rolling for before.
No.
So this is you both for a moment have an inclination to throw yourselves into the center. It's like a passing thought. It's like an intrusive thought. You're like, those are very powerful, like, spectral beings. If I threw myself into them and, like, forced my will into the ectoplasmic reticulum of these ghostly dragons, I could basically gain so much incredible power. But it's a passing thought. You're like, I don't really, that's not what we're here for. It's fine. And that thought passes.
Okay, brain.
Yeah. So there's that. You have successfully put Dio Acapio to sleep, and Lord Joltske is impressed. He's
I wanna like pet him a little bit, just kind of soothe him.
Who?
Acapio.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Give him a little pat on his dragon snoot.
Yeah.
Little pat on his dragon snoot. So you look over at Shay, who is a drow. If you're new and you don't know what Shay looks like, he's a drow, and so he has very, very dark, like inky black skin. But in this moment, it is very not that. It is very pale, almost a ghostly gray. As the relief washes over Shay, and he kind of like melts back and starts to slide off the back of the dragon in this just exhausted state.
I would like to either catch him or have my lion drake catch him.
Yeah. Artosh, seeing the big cat is now asleep, prances over along the sand and catches your boyfriend. And then I guess you will like jump onto your dragon, I guess. Yeah, so that's a crisis averted. Lord Joltske.
Scary.
Yeah, Lord Joltske brings his head down to you and says, "That was very resourceful. Good job. I ran out of insults. You warriors have proven very powerful, very useful, very respectable with not only the bullet, but also this idiot. I do think that, let's see," and he like looks over at this imaginary line, this quote unquote imaginary line of the Blue Dragon territory, and he goes and he takes Dio Acapio's dragon paw, like his hand, like bites it, and like drags it over the line, and he says, "This counts. You have a chaperone. Let's go." Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right, works.
Woo! Malachite lands the dragon turtle right outside of Blue Dragon territory, and he walks out with David and with Blue and Black Death and and Blue and Black Death and Howle. Well, yeah, Howle's already out. Skortch. Everyone gets out. The goblin lady that Blue had with him is like, "Listen, honey, I got like 9 kids. I need to go."
Yeah, of course. Head out.
Yeah, bye. And she runs away. Peb's like, "Yeah, this has been fun. I should probably let my brothers know that where Capio is." Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.
I'll see y'all later. I think, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And Shay takes, after like Shay like gets his wits back together, he takes Howle, but he takes your shoulders and is like, "I'm not a hero. This has been enough excitement for a lifetime. Thank you."
Really good though. Just want you to know that.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna leave with my dragon dad, if that's okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
enjoyed
I'll
having you around.
I'll try to find a way to contact you if and when we ever settle down somewhere. I have no idea where we are going.
Well, if you manage to get a hold of us, I will do what I can to respond. I look forward to it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then Shay gives you a kiss on the cheek and walks
Aww.
to his dragon dad. And they walk away together in the sand, through the sands, back towards Canch, but then they're like, we should probably walk around. There are people looking for us. And now it's just our intrepid heroes again, and Lord Joltske, who is staring daggers at Blu Moon.
You got some
Right.
people.
I was unaware that you had another dragon. Not just the cute little furry one that you have, Windy one.
Hey,
He was
hold on
asleep.
here.
He's our brother.
Who the
Brother?
heck is this anyway?
I am Lord Joltske, second hand of the Blue Dragon family, in pure wretch. You will mind your tongue.
I inch closer to Blue. I inch closer to Blue and I try to like. Shh, shh.
Dude,
We need him to like us.
Yeah, really. Take it. I know it's difficult.
You
Just take
are
it.
lucky that I have found your family to be honorable warriors, or you would already be dead.
You both owe me this. I am so sorry for speaking up. My dearest apologies, great royalty. As he kneels down on one knee. And you as his family would recognize this a look of extreme hate and just disdain. But him looking outside, peachy
Oh
happy.
goodness, that echo is horrible, dude.
It's a little
Oh,
wild.
Is it coming from us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I'll just. There we go.
David is like, worry not, oh great and powerful dragon. I have spent many a year with this one, and I know how to keep him behaved. Lord Joltske, looks down. Again, not happy that this stowaway is now part of the party. And leads you guys closer to the mountain at the center of the desert. I need to actually push the button so that I can bring up the picture from before. And while you guys walk through the desert towards the ominous peaks of the Blue Dragon territory, allow me to regale you with another exciting entry in the Desolation Diary of King David the Fifth. Day 120, timeline B. Let's see. All of my experiments have been proof of concept for this mission that I am about to embark on. I am going to travel to the rumored resting place of all of the elemental beasts I'm going to see if I can't strike up some kind of deal to improve them with my magic mechanical technologies. Modify them into something bigger, something greater. I have created what I'm calling a hot air balloon, an aerial form of travel, which should be much faster than walking or sailing. Let's see. First of its kind. I'm very proud of it. It'll take us all around the kingdom. I've left the kingdom in the capable hands of Counselor Coral, and at his request, I have taken his son, the turtle monk Ken, for protection on my journey. The first step is their home of the Misty Mountains, where I hope to find Long Shen, the Great drake of water. And thus ends that entry. You all follow Lord Joltske into the cavernous, empty halls of the Blue Dragon's mountains. And when you you see out of the corner of your eyes as you enter, many blue kobolds. They're sorting things. They're taking things from one place to another. They're shining things. They're blue kobolds. They do the Blue Dragon's bidding, and they worship them as gods. The hoard consists of many shiny, pretty things, some works of art, but it looks, well, when it comes to hoards, blue dragons are not dissimilar to seagulls. If it shines, they want it. If it's tasty, they want it. So there's definitely some food and a lot of really shiny artifact, like items and stuff all about. And you enter the grand meeting hall. Blue, make for me a insight check.
Okay. 19.
19. Ooh, okay. So you have the air inside of this great central cavern is almost identical to the air inside of your dream that you were having last episode. And the dream that we kind of talked about earlier this episode. It's a very similar, like, body feel. And you look up, and about 2 stories high, you see the shiny conical object from your dream poking out of the wall. And it shines with... It fills the rest of the room with light as a beam of sun enters through a crack in the ceiling and refracts off of it. And through these many tunnels and caverns in this central hall arise various blue dragons. "Father," says Lord Joltske, "I have brought mighty warriors. Their chaperone is, watching the perimeter. They were chaperoned by, you won't believe this, Dio Acapio." There is some murmuring and some mild giggling from the surrounding dragons. From the largest tunnel, slowly arising from what you assume is a nap, is an ancient blue dragon. And it looks at all of you, and then it locks eyes with Blue. And what of this half-breed? "Father, I would have killed it, but it belongs to them, and they have proven themselves to be great warriors." "Very well.
He really is quite useful.
His usefulness does not concern me. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dio Joltero, leader of the Blue Dragon clan."
Out of game, goon? What the fuck?
What do you mean, what the fuck? Listen, his son is Lord
I picked up on.
it's Lord Joltske. Lord Joltske, Dio Joltero.
Anyway, back in game.
I mean, Dio Acapio.
Yes.
I made Dio the name for leader, the term for leader, and then I kept naming people after JoJo characters. This isn't hard. I named my dragons after JoJo characters. This is a JoJo reference. I didn't know that I had to spell it out for you.
You didn't. It was loud and
Got it.
clear.
Anyway,
You get it one pass on it, and then you did it twice.
I did it 3 times. I'm about to do it a 4th time.
Spoilers, goodness.
You never reveal your secret.
Lord Joltske, Dio Joltera. I am. Okay, anyway. I am Dio Joltero, Lord, the leader of the Blue Dragon clan. For what purpose have you come into my domain? You guys want to talk, or should I? Malachite says. David says, let's, I don't know.
You're kind of in charge of the whole finding thing,
I would love to talk, but I feel like they might not appreciate.
Yeah,
my
I don't think
opinion.
you should
yeah?
talk, bro.
No, Blue, you
Yeah,
should
okay.
That's mean.
So, I mean, I'm down to let anyone talk, and Lord Dio Joltero goes, yeah, I'm kind of waiting. Please,
Okay,
please hurry up.
Skortch, Howle, rock, paper, scissors, baby.
No, and I just shoved Malachite forward.
Older parchment shears.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I guess I'm doing it then. Yeah. And then Malachite like twirls his staff, slams it to the ground, and starts to press and digitate all over the walls. I need to change the music. This is not the good music for this.
I'm sure they appreciate magical pictures on the wall.
I mean, they go away.
They go. Yeah. It's like a projection. And Malachite begins to tell his tale of woe about. Thanks. I'll do it again. Oh, anyway, I can't be serious with this. Why can't I delete? There we go. I can't be serious with that. Okay. Malachite begins to tell his tale of woe about his family dying to the Tarask, about rebuilding his kingdom, and about modifying the elemental spirits into these elemental beasts. And he says, finally, at the end of his speech, and I have reason to believe that you are holding the unicorn of Earth in your treasury, says Dio Joltero. Jiro, could you come here for a minute? Another blue dragon appears from an adjacent tunnel, and Dio Joltero says, "This is my eldest daughter, Jiro. She is in charge of categorizing the horde and stuff like that. Do you know of what these strange little mice speak of?" "Yes, Father. I do. The unicorn of Earth. It's up there. We use it to deflect the light. Keep this place lit. I think it's very nice. Do you agree?" And she finally looks over at all of you, and she looks over all of you, and she's going down the line, and when she meets Blue's gaze, it's different. It's not daggers. You can see in her eyes how a beat skips in her heart.
I want you to know right now, there's nothing but daggers coming out of these eyes. Just as much as that is very nice, there are daggers. And everyone in this
She's picking up on your energy, and she realizes that she let her facade slip, and she puts back on her mask, quote unquote mask, and says, we have appraised this unicorn statuette as as worth as much as 4 or 5 million gold pieces, Father.
Hey, Goon.
Yes?
Sidebar, can I insight check her?
Go for it. Make that insight check. This is what D&D's all about, baby. Make an insight check.
Sorry, my Google just went off.
Okay.
She's been very moody today.
Right? She's been very talkative.
Tried to translate Russian for you and failed horribly.
18.
Okay. With an 18, you saw that whole emotional face display, and Ken is not known for emotional sensitivity, but even he can see that she clearly knows something about Blue that nobody else here knows.
I'm gonna talk to you later.
Ken, we'll remember that.
I don't remember this.
Dio Joltaro looks down at the group again and says, "So your mission is to take from us a piece of our hoard. A piece appraised at 4 or 5 million gold pieces." In so many words, yes, says Malachite. And Dio Joltaro starts to laugh. And dragons all over the cave start to laugh. And Joltske does not laugh. He actually looks down at you guys. Well, all of you except for Blue. With like, "I'm sorry," in his eyes. "Unless you can bring us something more valuable than the unicorn, I do not see any way that you puny mice will be able to get it from us."
Dragons over here really getting creative with their insults. They've used mice like 4 times. They've used rat twice now.
How
Do you
about
have something to
unwavering
say,
love and affection?
mutant? Have you have something to say, mutant? You will speak up!
Oh, sorry, my deepest apologies. I thought I wasn't allowed to speak.
Shut it.
But no, if you really insist on me talking, sure. What makes me so inferior from everyone else in this room?
It is not that you are
My
inferior,
friends.
it is that you are diluted!
Diluted?
Diluted.
I'm sorry that I was born this way. This is the way I exist. I aim to make myself stronger every single day of my life, but then people like you and people in that Coliseum I was in go around saying how much inferior I am, no matter for being better as a dragon or being worse than a regular humanoid. So really I'm getting tired of taking all of this, and just for 1 minute, from anyone besides my family or people that we are paying with like a little bit of decent respect for a few moments. Anyway, that is all I had to say. My deepest apologies for outspeaking, and I'll be over here.
Howell's just like holding his head in his hand, like, fuck.
Can you stunning strike him, please?
Oh no, he's done. I've stopped.
Make... I rolled the dice, and it came up low, and I'm trying to figure out what that means in this situation.
The DM in the most absolute
Charisma
panic
saving
looks
throw?
towards the dice and rolls.
No,
them.
it was
Now, what does
it
this
was a
mean?
roll for Joltaro.
Yeah.
Joltaro had started to move forward, but Jiro had put her tail in front of her father, as if to say no. Father, this thing is not worth your time or might. Allow me, Father, to teach this one a lesson. And Jiro climbs down from the cave and picks you up, Blue, and takes you into another room.
Oh, we're just gonna let her do that? Oh, okay.
I mean, David says, Ken, that's a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to do, or any of us to do. Awatu's
Yeah,
out there,
No,
and
you're right.
technically speaking, you still have Longshen.
Yeah, he's taking a nap.
He's done a whole lot.
He has.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bump on over to this new
I don't know,
split.
showing off Long Shen to the other dragons might be, like,
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah, give me a sec. We'll get that. We'll get back to that idea. Let's go
Alright.
to this private conversation between Jiro and Blue. Yeah, Jiro pulls you aside, like walks you through these catacombs with these kobolds scurrying about. A couple of kobolds, a few kobolds, like walk up and see Jiro with you in her hand and offer her like various human weapons and such, and she just keeps dismissing them. And finally, as she sets you down and like checks her 6 and her 12 and her 11 and her 2 and like all the directions, she checks her like straight up because there's a hole there. Because there's like it's a whole like big mess of, and she says, "I am so happy I found you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I... Wait, hold on a second, what?
I'm so happy I found you. I called intuition, but I knew it was you the second I saw you. I am so... Oh, so... Has something happened to... Oh, tell me everything.
No, you need to slow down here. What exactly do you think I am?
You're my son. You are my son.
That's not, you see, that's not quite possible. I have a father and mother back at home, right? Holy crap, mommy.
You know Tiberius. You know Tiberius
yes,
the Wolfman.
of course. Yeah, he's my father.
Yes!
Yeah, wait,
Yes!
yes?
And I am your mother.
But no, okay.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand.
I think I do, and that's why I need a moment.
When I was a younger dragoness, I shapeshifted and went and saw these dragonborn fight that I've heard so much about. And when I came, there was a mysterious dragonborn fighting in the pits, and it turns out he wasn't a dragonborn at all, but in fact a wild and dangerous and very
Okay, we don't
very
need to get into my father.
very
We don't need
handsome wolf
Wait,
man.
hold on, he's not my adopted oh my god, wait.
I may have well, yes.
No, you don't need to. Yeah, okay. This is
I am your
clear the second.
What are you doing here? Like, what are you doing here?
What do you mean?
What are you
I told you
doing?
outside. We're here to save the. We're literally here to save the world.
To save the world.
Well,
So
yeah,
that wasn't that.
No.
Oh, so that's actually happening. The
Yeah,
Tarask and
that's actually a thing.
the
I know
beasts.
it's crazy too, but like my older brother David's over there. His older version is like over there trying
Yeah,
to convince the world that-
I kind of
yeah.
like tuned the time travel nonsense out. I couldn't make heads or tails of it, but so
Me neither.
so you do. Oh, huh.
Yeah, we're actually here for that giant horse unicorn because I actually saw it in a dream last night.
A
Funny
dream?
enough. Yeah. Wow, this is really awkward being here, but oh my god, I have so many.
This might hold on. This actually, maybe it'd be more comfortable if I, and then she snaps her fingers a few times, and some kobolds come, and she whispers a command into their ears, and in a matter of minutes, a shimmer collar is brought to her, and she adorns it, and she transforms into a very blue-skinned, high elven form. So.
Wow.
Oh, how is Tiberius?
He's been fine. He's been great. He's been well. I mean, like he's current. I mean, yeah. I guess he's good.
We couldn't be together. So
No,
I always
understand
hoped that he found happiness somewhere else without me.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely did. He definitely did. Well, I don't know if he's happy without you. He probably like misses you a lot, cause like.
Did
geez,
he?
I sure been
Did he
wondering,
ever
but,
remarry?
Yeah, to the king and queen of my kingdom that I live at.
I don't pay attention to politics. Could you explain?
Oh, well, I'm from Paternia.
Paternia,
I was always told I was an adopted.
He told you you were
child.
adopted.
Well, I mean, now I kind of understand why, because I really haven't met a nice person to
Let's
put a face
just.
to dragons.
Can we have a flashback montage to every time you asked Tiberius if you were adopted, and he was like, and like he gave you a shrug. like the thing is, like, Tiberius is a dog of few words, so whenever you asked him if he was adopted, he was like, so he never said no, and he never said
I
yes.
think your father would tell you if you were or were not, you know, like their actual child. Like, imagine, you know, like regular ass David walked up to his dad and was like, "Are you
makes
adopted?" And all he responded with was like,
that makes sense.
Like
He was a
That is-
wolf of very few words, but that tongue, oh my.
No, okay, please, don't care. Wow, this is getting worse by the minute. Okay.
I
like,
wish I could help you more. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I
mean,
could.
Aren't you're in charge of, I mean, like, okay, look.
Do you have something valued at 4 or 5 million gold pieces that we could trade? I mean, I
It
don't.
seems like they don't have the greatest memory of what they actually own, and you seem to be the one that has a catalog of all of it, so couldn't we, like, grab something that's kind of, like, buried away around the same value and say, hey, look what we found?
I don't.
Swap it, Rooney it, kind
I don't know. My father is very good at sniffing out lies.
You obviously haven't met the best one that there is at it. Not me.
Your
actually,
father?
I'm terrible at doing it. No, actually, well, yeah, he did teach me a few tricks, but like that's, I mean, like I did like a whole play. I was in a Coliseum fight for like an entire week almost, where I had to go head to
Oh,
head
so you were in the
against bear
you were in the Coliseum like your father.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's-
realized that he's been there.
that's
it was
wonderful.
Wonderfully, except you know they kind of like were kind of assholes about everything, but you know.
Oh, you didn't elect to go. You were captured.
Oh, I was kidnapped.
Kidnapped. Wow.
And you know, I tried escaping.
Okay. She takes off the shimmer collar and returns to her full dragoning height of very large.
Kind of forget how big you are.
Yeah, your father also was a little intimidated by that, but it never stopped him from slaying
he's
me.
very ambitious. But stop, please.
I'm going to
hear about you
I'm
two.
going to have to knock you out.
Huh? Why?
Because I'm supposed to be punishing you.
Oh, understood. Okay, well, give me all you got. Wait, don't give me all. Actually, fuck it. Just give me what you got.
Okay. Let's see. Does an 8 hit?
No, actually.
Oh dear.
Just kind of.
Hold on.
Try that again.
Hold on, sweetie. Let me try again.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit?
Oh shit! Hold on. No, it doesn't. Okay. One more time.
Okay.
One more time, it'll do it.
Okay.
Get it.
Does a 17 hit?
Okay. Yes, that is.
Okay, cool. You're knocked out. Yeah, and a few moments later, Jiro returns to the central hall, and well, let's roleplay some of the time where you guys, while they were still away. So Jiro had just taken Blue out of the room, and you guys are still squabbling amongst yourselves with Lord Joltaro. Do you have anything that could possibly trade for a valuable item such as unicorn?
How about your lives? We're
Hold
Is
hold
that a
on
threat?
Hold on a.
talk. Let me talk.
Skortch, what the fuck?
What we're dealing with here is a Tarask, and Tarasks eat dragons. If we don't stop this thing, all of you are dead whether or not we want it to happen.
But also money, though.
Money will be irrelevant in the apocalypse.
Do you understand? You don't understand. Yeah, you don't understand. Our horde size is directly correlated to our place in the dragon afterlife. So, doesn't matter to us whether or not we die. The only thing that matters, everyone, and everyone says in unison, is the Horde. We gather together to make the biggest horde possible to secure our place in the afterlife. So, again, do you have anything to trade for our unicorn?
Did you ever ask the unicorn what they want?
The unicorn does not speak.
But what if it could? Oh, ouch, I gotta... well, okay, I'll have to ask him. I mean, he was napping.
He can come out tiny. He doesn't have to do anything.
Fine, hey, you asleep, dude?
Huh?
Yeah, sorry to ask, but, we kinda need you just one more time.
Dude, man, dude,
Yeah, I know,
dude,
I know.
dude,
I wasn't planning on this either, believe me.
What is it even for?
Well, I don't actually know, but Skortch apparently has a point she wants to prove, and you know that chick.
Is there enough room? Is there enough room,
Is enough room? I mean, how big is the chamber we're in?
There are many full-size dragons in this room, and room for many more.
You know what? There's definitely enough room. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of throw you in the air, and you're gonna do like a magical girl transformation. It's gonna be really cool.
No, if anything, it's
No?
gonna be like Super Sentai. Jesus.
Fine. I'll just put
Okay.
you on the ground really softly.
Showtime.
And I take off the ring and I put it on the ground and I step back like 5 feet.
And then Longshed comes out like Genie in Aladdin.
Meet Long Shen!
Hey. Blue Dragons. Hi! I am Longshen. I am one of the elemental beasts on a quest to defeat the Tarrasque. And we would like our unicorn, please. And Joltaro says, is your intention to trade the dragon for the unicorn?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Then what is the
Wait,
purpose
they're
of this
both the same
display?
I am
Shh.
proving a point that they have a will that they should be able to exert. And you are keeping the unicorn here, probably against its will.
As you say
Long
that,
Shen was asleep for thousands of years before we woke him up.
as you say
The
that,
unicorn's probably sleeping.
as you guys are speaking these lines, Jiro returns with a unconscious Blue Moon in her claw, and she lays Blue Moon down on the ground and bows to Joltaro and says, his lesson has been learned, Father. And she returns to her spot, and the camera zooms in on Blue Moon's sleeping face. And Blue, you return to this dreamscape of sand. But you feel only the sand brushing against your skin and your face. But the ground that you lay on is hard and metallic. And you're awakened into this dreamscape by a blinding light. The light of the conical object. As you are laying atop the unicorn's head.
Ooh, this is new. Hey. Looks like you found you again. Now, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here, or how I'm supposed to get you out of here, but I've had the realization that you're that big unicorn that's sitting inside the middle of this blue dragon's horde. You got any good ideas? As he's just kind of like sitting on it.
I'm gonna give you some skill options. I like doing that. Give me animal handling, arcana, insight, religion, or religion. Yeah, give me one of those.
Okay, well, I'll just roll. Yep, that's pretty standard to me.
Oh, you fool. Yeah, nothing. You get nothing. There's nothing but sand in this dreamscape and this enormous unicorn bot.
Druid's got a spell for that. Cough, cough. Look over. Cough, cough. It's like.
That's the diary, not the Bible. Nope, that's the diary again. There's the Bible. Hold on. That's cool.
And then,
You can always search your mind with wisdom.
knowing this is of some sort of creature of some kind, I'm going to try tapping into that power that was given to me and use Speak with Animals.
Okay. What?
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness is limited based on their intelligence, but at a minimum, the beast can give informants on you based. It can based on its intelligence. It can talk or just respond. But oh, this is weird. But can you talk like this? Am I able to get through to you? No. Hello. I need your help. Well, I need your help to help me get you out of here, to help us again. So I guess, yeah, I need your help. Hello? No. Okay, let's try doing the whole eyes closed, don't talk with your mouth, but talk with your brain stuff again.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's gonna, close his eyes, sit down.
Meditate.
Meditate. His inner Ken.
Yeah. Do as your turtle bro does.
Okay, did you want to make a wisdom for that? Or?
Yes, I do. Do that. That's good.
13.
That's good. You're very close. The interface is very good. You meditate atop the unicorn, and for a moment, all you hear is the sound of falling sand. Anyway, and after a moment, there is a slight vibration through the unicorn, and then there is a very deep voice in your mind. And it says, "What is your name?"
Name is Blu Moon. As he's like having trouble speaking through his brain.
Sidebar, that's hot.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Do I know you?
Probably not. I am from a faraway land in the seek of your guidance, in your help.
I feel like I know you.
I would not know how you would.
I feel as I have agreed to something that I cannot fathom or remember.
Then that agreement must be to assist us in our journey to save the world from a Tarask.
The Tarask.
Legendary creature, terrifying on scale, but we're hopefully going to gather power from great creatures to be able to help us.
Yes.
You are such one.
I will
We
help
believe. You will?
You must need to touch me first.
I think I'm kind of on you already, so
Not here.
I...
The material world.
Okay.
You're here.
I can do that. I can do that.
If you can awaken me, then I will help you.
Good, because we're gonna probably need it if we're getting you.
Need to do is reach out your hand. Now.
Okay.
Awaken. And you gag to life. You gag to life on this ground, surrounded by the numerous craning heads of blue dragons. Your newly discovered dragon mom is in her place next to her father. You are in front of your family. And that is, and everyone else, you see Blu Moon spasm to life, as he often does.
Oh jeez, he's having a seizure. He's a seizure. Roll him on his side real quick.
Get off me.
Somebody support his head.
The hell did Ken learn fucking seizure protocols?
Oh, you're okay. Oh,
I'm fine.
okay, good.
Bro,
good.
A little winded.
Bro, what's going on?
That's fine. Just had another crazy dream.
Another dream?
Yeah, we should probably talk about it somewhere less dragon.
Is there what? Okay, we need to figure out something to trade for the.
He's gonna like kind of like as he's talking, gonna like reach his hand out in the direction of the giant unicorn statue and just like try to focus really hard, not like physically intensely, but
Nothing happens.
Damn it.
Ken's gonna kind of just like lean over and be like, dude, I know what you're trying to do right now, and you really gotta get up there. Like, you gotta really touch it. You gotta really touch it.
That's kind of...
Not in a weird way. Definitely not. They don't like that.
Kind of hard when there's a whole bunch of blue dragons in the room with it, and they probably won't let us get close to it.
I mean, like, I could just... What if we just, like, real quick, just, like...
For those that, apparently haven't caught on, my dream consisted of the unicorn, communicating to me, and I need to make direct contact with it, and it says it'll...
What are you mice speaking of? Speak
Don't
up, I
worry
cannot
about
hear
it.
you.
It's gonna... Hey, this is a bro talk.
Anyway, I'm so deeply
I
sorry
respect
to
the
you guys
boundaries
for
of
me
bro
to
talk.
talking.
Am I within earshot of them?
Of them? Yeah, you're in the
Oh, yeah, roll.
posse.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if they were like whispering too quiet. I want to talk to Dio Jotaro, and
Dio Jones. Okay. Sorry, I forgot which dragon was
Yeah.
named that.
I'm glad I couldn't remember names. I'm usually bad at this.
Very good.
Could we be permitted to go see the unicorn up close? Of course, being chaperoned.
Give me a persuasion check.
I'm not so good at those.
Don't jinx it.
Kind of
Jinxed it.
I see no reason to even entertain this transaction without any proof that you are even remotely close to matching its value. So, no.
Okay,
well,
okay.
It's not like we could take it out of here. We just want to see the merchandise up close. Can't we do that?
Ken, you had an idea?
So, guys, Long Shen, he can do this thing, right, where he can basically make a ball of water, and I can basically lift a medium or large creature 30 feet in the air every 6 seconds. So, I could
Long Shen is still out, by the way.
Yeah, I know. This is when he goes back.
I mean, he can also do it. You just have to, like, yell it at him.
Yeah, okay, I could do that too. So, like, we could just do that real quick. He could get up there. Wait, how high is the ceiling?
The ceiling's about 60 feet. Wait, how tall is an ancient dragon? It's about double an ancient dragon.
Okay, so yeah, that's really tall.
Yeah. It's a mountain. It's almost completely carved out in various tunnels.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure they are They're a
They're
gargantuan. Okay,
Mm.
what is gargantuan size?
It's like 30 feet by 30 feet.
Okay, so the unicorn's horn is about 60 feet up in the air.
Uh, 32 to 64 feet tall.
Let's lowball it.
Okay.
So you'd need to do 3 moves of the water.
Yeah, I could get you there. It only lasts for a round, I'm pretty sure, though.
Oh, that's
Can you
That's-
keep casting it?
Long Shen can.
Has
I can't.
a number of charges. Longshan has a number of charges. I forgot how many.
You didn't list how many.
Oh
actually.
shoot, didn't I? Oh. Well then I guess it's only one then. Might be. Might be.
Yeah, if not napping, you can walk on clouds, cast all spells listed up to a number of charges. And you didn't put the chargers. Okay. That is fair enough. I can get him up there once. Or we could just have Long Shen just quickly fly him up there and then he could... You've got a 5 feet vertical, right?
Yeah, I can jump.
Long Shen can get you up 55 feet.
Yeah, but how fast?
Clear 5 feet.
6 seconds.
Okay, so you guys are like in this, so I imagine,
huddled.
Skortch is still talking, with Malachite. Howle, Blue, David, and Ken are in this kind of huddle. So I guess the rest of us will just run interference.
Yeah, maybe.
Something
I'm
like
not
that?
promising anything about this, but it's kind of the... I just apparently need to touch it, it'll give me its power, so like, hopefully whatever it can do is impressive enough to either stop the dragons from destroying all of us in an instant.
Before Long Shen brings you up there, I could have him, yeah, you know what? I could fill this entire room up with fog.
Also, Howle, can you make someone levitate, or is that just you?
At the moment... I can, actually.
Okay. This is really stupid, but
so
it
he can
just
launch
might
Up to 20
work.
feet.
Hey, do we want a distraction?
I mean, I still have... suddenly everyone's in this huddle. I have stasis. I can stop
have
one of them for 3 rounds.
Okay, but I was thinking, stasis in him might come off as aggression. I was just going to use enthrall to kind of draw his attention away from everyone else.
Well, this is a dragon. He's obviously just gonna... Like, that... I don't know if your spells are, like, that powerful to affect a dragon. But you can try.
Let me pull up an adult blue dragon stat block. I feel like I'm gonna need it soon.
I feel like we probably shouldn't fight them.
Right.
Well, enthrall's a non-aggressive spell.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I guess just start talking, and I guess we'll try, in this room full of dragons, to sneak our despised mutant brother up 60 feet. Good? David has 2 thumbs up.
Yep, works for me.
Ready, break!
Case.
Make an intelligence check first to see if I know if they're resistant to being charmed.
Go ahead. Make that intelligence check.
Would that be history?
That
It could be history, if you wanted it
That
to
could
be.
be insight, history, that could be investigation.
I'm gonna say history.
Insight is more checking if something's lying, trying to like pick
Yeah,
up on
because
tells.
History is
Oh,
recalling past information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skortch is very book smart.
Bookie
You
books.
practically said she books.
That is a 14.
You remember a passage about something called the Legendary Resistance.
Okay, yeah, no, stasis might be the better option here. I don't want it to fail, and it might have the same effect anyway.
Yes. Okay. Malachite steps forward and raises his staff in his hand really big. I would like to bedazzle you all with an amazing, fantastical trick never before seen by dragonkind. I'm going to render your powerful leader, Dio Jotaro. Jotaro, sorry. Completely immobile. And Dio Jotaro kind of laughs and goes, Me. I am the most powerful dragon on this continent. What makes you think I want to? Stasis! You have 3 rounds, go!
Okay, get up on his back.
It's running straight up as he casts Long Stride on himself and jump.
Go for it! Do the things! Do the D&D!
Alright.
That's all I got for now.
As soon as he's, like, about to be out of range, which is 60 feet, I'll cast Levitate on him.
The cavern itself is 60 feet high, so
You're perfect.
he's not gonna be out of
okay.
range anytime soon.
Well, I'll cast Levitate on him when he's, like, close enough, I guess.
Got it. So when he's like about like on top of Longshan's head.
It's pretty much when I
Yeah.
get on top and I take a jump. If the whole room's 60 feet and your cast room's 60 feet, we're fine. It'll be when I take my jump and then you'll levitate me an additional 20.
Okay. And then Longshan is going to use his main action to cast Fog Cloud, and he's just gonna rip a fat fart.
Oh
Just
no,
fill the
dude!
entire room up with fog.
No, not a fart. We've established that Longshan is a vape god.
Fine, he vapes it out.
He rips a fat wad of cotton. We're not making our elegant, beautiful water dragon boy a fart master. He is a vape god. Longshan, vape god, let's go.
Alright, so he'll use his main action to cast Fog Cloud, and that fills up an 120-foot sphere.
Yep.
So
The most of the dragons are now enveloped in this hard to see through epic vape cotton.
And then he's going to use his movement action to boom straight up 55 feet to the unicorn's horn.
Right on. So Blue, you kind of got this epic boost thing going on.
So many boosts.
So many boosts. Longshan kind of coiled up and sprung himself up while you were riding on his head. You're in the Spider-Man pose, like riding up, and then Howle's levitate comes on you, and so when Longshan stops, you go careening super fast past the dragon's horn and splat right into the ceiling of this cavern. I'm gonna ask you to take. Let's do 3. 3 seems fair. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Of getting jettisoned into the ceiling damage. You kind of cartoonishly peel off and land, not dissimilarly to in your dream, you land on the head of the unicorn, and you instantly become asleep once again.
Oh.
You are back in the dreamscape that directly now mirrors your reality.
Okay, this is different. Okay, what do I do?
Very well.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Oh.
All that is left is to invoke my name.
And what is it?
Foltus.
Voltus? Okay.
No,
Okay.
foal like young horse, and tus, 'cause it's epic.
Full pus.
Now say it like you mean it, bitch.
Oh damn, he's a dom.
Okay.
Your unicorn's a dom, dude.
As Blue Moon is going to yell out his name, one hand in the air, one hand touching the the unicorn.
Reality mirrors the dream, and in the material plane, Blue raises his hand to the sky, one hand to one to the stone, which is the head of Foltus, the unicorn of Earth. And you do the sound bite, dude.
Oof. What do you mean? Okay.
Invoke his name, stupid, and say it like you mean it. All right.
Just echoes this massive,
All right. So, your essence sheds from your body and envelops Foltus in the dreamscape, and similarly, so does it in the material world as the dreams synchronize and Foltus unfolds in the material plane from its cube-like dormant state into its full standing height, causing it to break the ground beneath it and cause the entirety of Foltus and the ceiling to start crashing down around all of us. Crashing down around the entire scene. Everyone,
Oh no.
you have one action. 15 seconds. 14.
Ken's taking
13.
the dash one to run
12.
away.
Okay. David is using an echo to GTFO.
Yeah,
I'm sticking with Howle and
12.
jumping on
11.
Artosh.
Aratosh.
10.
Do I have
Yes,
to take an action?
Artosh is flying us out.
Yeah. Malachite, Malachite drops the stasis and also takes this the dash action. Everyone make dexterity saving throws. Everybody.
Dex saving throw.
Even Skortch, because she's on the line.
No, that'll count for the both of you. Skortch.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
Oh my
And then,
That's a nat one.
as for Longshan,
Longshan, it's just rocks. It's fine. He's good.
okay,
Just rocks, everybody dies.
David got a 13. David's gonna take some damage. How did Artosh specifically? That was a 4.
No, it was a nat one.
It was a nat
If he
1?
was-
Well, Skortch.
if he was using Artosh, then Artosh might use the help action and give him advantage on the roll.
Skortch got a 20. I'm gonna say that Skortch uses some... I'm gonna say some spell. Skortch, throw in a spell. Whatever spell.
Suggestion.
On the rocks?
No, on Aratosh.
on-
like,
Artosh?
To keep Artosh from panicking?
yes.
Okay.
I like that.
That saves. That's good. So David's gonna take 2 points. David's gonna take some 2 points of just random debris damage. Where's his health bar at? The app is so weird. Oh, it's right here. 2 points of damage. Cool. Everyone else makes out alive. The dragons all pulled into their holes in the walls, and Dio Joltaro is buried under a pile of rubble, and standing atop the pile of rubble is this it's a 30-foot tall unicorn, very blocky, very Zord-like, and on top of that stands Blue Moon, one hand raised to the sky, with to the newly added sunroof of this very large cavern. One hand to the sun, one hand to Foltus. And that's what that looks like. Blue, any epic one-liners?
I told you I'm better than all of you blue dragons! You can't do this! Only Blu Moon! The royal from Paternia can do this!
Right on. Foltus, in your mind, goes,
If you need me, all you need to is invoke my name.
and it starts to disseminate into Earth elemental energy particles in a similar way that you see Longshen disseminate into particles, and it gathers upon into what kind. So I've made it known that when you get your elemental beast, you can decide what article of clothing or jewelry it turns into for travel convenience. What is Artosh's travel mode form?
It is going to turn into a pair of Glory's shoulder pads.
Oh! Okay!
You just totally called Foltus Artosh.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yep.
Anyway, the shoulder pads
they're
of...
going to be glorious. They're going to look like they're made out of rock and wood.
There's gonna be like one unicorn horn on one side.
Yeah.
Sick. The shoulder pads of Foltus. Oh, I can't wait to make up random stuff for you to have with that. Yeah. I think this is as good a spot as any to end tonight's session. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your Dungeon Daddy, your DM, your MC, Goon Daddy, talking to you from behind this crudely animated PNG puppet. Playing Skortch, we have the wonderful Window Goblin.
Hello there.
Playing Howle, we have the gracious Grem Glitch Gremlin.
Hello.
Playing Blu Moon, we have the just Jyden the android.
Ew.
And finally, playing Quen, we have the stupendous SmokeyDBlaze.
It is Ken.
It's Quen. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, who's your daddy?
I don't know.
Dungeon Daddy.
You know exactly who your daddy is. We've